We've been making a guest list so far for the party.
Wait, this is the guest list for the birthday party, right, Catherine?
Yeah.
I really hope I'm on this list.
Well, we'll have to see about that.
Wow. I feel really small about that.
Well, speaking about small, let's talk about the size of views on a screen.
Oh, we've used the fixed width and height, which is the DP, right?
Yeah, for width and height.
Right.
And we could also set wrap content for
Right,
the
which
view.
is a strange way of saying that the view is going to wrap itself around the content. So the content grows large, the view grows large. The content grows small, the view grows small.
Yeah, and there's actually a third one, which is called match parent.
Seems a little strange. That sounds like a dating website for single parents.
Not quite. Match parent means that the view will be as wide or as tall as the parent.
Oh, so that makes sense. I am a view, I have a parent, and my width and height is going to be the same as my parent. Okay.
Exactly. So to summarize, the different values that you can set for a size of a view is with fixed DP for width and height.
Correct. You can also do wrap content. And the next one we're going to try out is match parent.
Here are some examples of how setting different widths on the child views in a linear layout can affect the final user interface. In this example, we set each child view to have a fixed width of 200 dp. If the content inside each view is greater than 200 dp, then you run the risk of cutting some content off like this. In this example, we set each child view to have a width of wrap content. Now all the content is shown, but the width of each view really varies based on what's inside each view. In this example, we set the width of each child view to be match parent. Now you see that the width of each child is as wide as the parent view group, regardless of the content inside of it. Now those same values can also be applied for the height of each view. In this example, we set the height of this child text view to be 200 dp. If the content inside it is taller than that, then you run the risk of cutting off some of the content. In this example, we set the height of the child text view to be wrap content. That way, all the content will be displayed on screen and nothing will be cut off because the size of the text view is dependent on the content inside of it. And in this example, we set the height of the child text view to be match parent. That way, the child view is as tall as the parent itself, regardless of the content inside it. Let's open the XML visualizer now and try to be more like our parents. In the code, we're providing you a link to the XML visualizer with some starter code in the instructor notes below. In this case, the linear layout is the root view of this layout because it's the first and outermost view. If we set match parent for the width and height of this root view, and we set this as the main layout of our app, then this linear layout will be as tall and wide as the device screen. I can show you by setting the background of this linear layout to be a non-transparent color. If I set a gray background color on this linear layout, then you can see how the gray extends the full width and height of the device. Now what happens if I try to change the width or height of these text views to be match parent? To make it clearer where the bounds of each view are, I'm going to set a background color on each of the views. Now I'm going to change the height of this text view to be match parent. By the way, you spell it match_parent. And now you see that this text view takes up the full height of the parent. Unfortunately, it pushes everything else off the screen, so we don't really want that, so let's change it back to wrap content. Okay, so let's change the width now to be match parent and see what it does. Now the width of the text view is as wide as the parent, which in turn is as wide as the device screen. If I change the other text views to also be match parent, you can see that it also starts to take up the full width of the parent. I also want to point out one more thing. Every time you see an attribute that starts with layout underscore, like layout height or layout width, these are actually view group layout parameters. These are used by the parent view group to determine the size and the position of these views. Meanwhile, the other attributes like background, text size, and text are handled by the text view in terms of styling its own view. But these view group layout parameters are handled by the parent. Now it's your turn to try different width and height values. For the link to the XML visualizer with some starter code, see the instructor notes below. Try to change the width and height values of each text view. You can set a fixed DP value, wrap content, or match parent. Remember that for each view, the width and height values don't have to match. When you're done, check this box to continue.